local communities. But James, tell us, how did you start? What woke you up to nature? You think it's an art or a profession? What about these new trends that you see? Where is it going? What is your life? Tell us a little bit. Share with us.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is James Honeyborne. This guy's a real ocean hero, by the way, and so is his daughter Nina, and I can't wait to meet her later. I'm hugely respectful for what you've done and how you've achieved it by yourself. I'm very fortunate. I've always made television with a big broadcaster like the BBC or more recently Netflix. But to do it by yourself, to be out there at night without dive support, that is genuinely heroic, really. I'd also just like to say that you saw a trailer there with our new wildlife presenter, President Obama. That series was made by our team in Bristol and incredible local talent all over the world. When we started looking at the editorial team, we realized that it was mostly made of very inspiring women filmmakers. And I just want to make a nod because I realize everyone we've seen today is a man.
Yeah, it's true. Christine invited me because I'm a woman.
Okay.
Just to compose the...
but so please know that there are a lot of really talented, hardworking, creative, and wonderful, brilliant women working in our industry as well. Anyway, yes, my name is James Honeyborne, and I was very lucky 5 years ago when my TV series, made with a very big team at the BBC, Blue Planet 2, came out on television. And we experienced.
It's brilliant. We love that.
Well, thank you. We experienced an amazing reception globally, and what was so exciting from that experience was that we showed images of the effect that chemical, industrial, and plastic pollution can have. We showed a baby sperm whale playing with a plastic bucket in its mouth, which was clearly a choking hazard, or just, actually whales breathe through their mouths, but it would have got stuck, an obstruction hazard. And the audience all over the world who saw that, they responded very, very strongly. We had hundreds of thousands of people in Britain alone. They'd come out and they'd clean the beaches. We'd never asked them to do that. That was the audience responding to a problem they saw on television. What we did, and where I think television can play a part, is we helped the audience connect and care about ocean issues. When I got Blue Planet commissioned, a colleague said to me, 7 hours on fish? Are you serious? But of course, if you can make it entertaining, if you can look fish in the eye and go, wow, you're a lot more intelligent than I thought you were, and if you can start to surprise the audience with what they see about the oceans and the incredible lives lived there and the phenomena of the oceans, then of course you can captivate people's hearts and minds, and you can start that process of helping people connect emotionally with life beneath the waves. And that's no easy challenge, because it's often considered to be remote, otherworldly, out of sight and out of mind.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, or
I think
scary.
Yes, scary.
Dark, alien.
Yeah.
But when the filmmakers capture this material that is effectively a gateway into that world, and you start to connect and care on an emotional level, that's when the magic happens. And that's when you can have real faith in the human response, I believe, having had that experience. So I started a long time ago, 30 years ago, when I was a student. I'd get a holiday job in the BBC. My job title was clerk of the film vaults.
What is your background training? How did you start?
Oh, I was a biologist.
A biologist
Yeah, a biologist
too.
as well.
Okay.
So Yeah, and today I really believe the collaboration with science is so important. I think there's always a danger in TV that you take more than you give in terms of the scientific relationship. We actually take scientists on our expeditions wherever we can. We share material with science, and we have a whole raft of papers. I think we had a dozen papers written after Blue Planet 2. We're already having papers written on our next series, which is still mid-production, because we're fortunate enough to be in the position where we're out in the wild for a long period of time, and we do sometimes see things that people have never seen before.
You collect data. You can collect data.
Well, yeah, sure. And even in that trailer, there was a hammerhead worm, which is a species of nematode that lives in the rainforests in Gunung Leuser National Park. And when we started filming it, we realized that no one knew what it was, and it was actually a new species. Wow. So that sort of thing does happen to us quite regularly. We do come across new species. We do film new behaviors, unrecorded behaviors. That, to me, is part of the joy, and that's also an opportunity to give back to science, which I feel is really important.
Yes.
But of course, over a 30-year span, looking at nature, going to wild places, you do see changes. And some of these changes are shocking and horrifying.
Tell us, like,
well,
the worst.
for example,
the worst that you saw.
You come across places where the animals just don't exist anymore. You come across glaciers that don't exist anymore.
The plastic thing.
Yeah, the rate of change at the moment is extraordinary. I've got teams in every continent and working in every ocean, and we're dealing with unprecedented change. It's harder to do our job now than it ever has been, because there is so much instability and change within the natural systems. You can feel it. But I've also seen miraculous recoveries.
Like what?
Well, 20 years ago, we wanted to film the Saiga migration, which we had filmed 20 years before. The BBC had filmed 20 years before that successfully, and it didn't occur anymore because they were over 99% extinct. But the recovery today is phenomenal. You see where keystone species are put back into ecosystems that are being rewilded. You see great changes in whole trophic cascades of effects, positive effects, which actually has made me purposefully hopeful in the sort of films I choose to make. So Our Great National Parks is a series. It's currently on Netflix. It came out a couple of months ago.
You can see it, okay.
Yeah, it's about the importance of wilderness to us all. Because
it's American national
No,
parks.
it's not American. It's global.
I didn't see it, sorry. Gorangosa, that's Mozambique, I remember.
No. There's wildlife all over the world in that, and we did. There is an ocean episode. It's about ocean health and our relationship with the ocean, and that's based in Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. So it's not even just national parks. I think it's a series that's about the importance of wilderness and our relationship to it. And that, for me, was an important story to tell, because after Blue Planet, I was thinking, gosh, wow, people can really respond to this stuff. What are the other subjects that we should be considering and reaching new audiences with? And that's the excitement for me working with Netflix.
Stimulating action, kind of,
Yeah, but and also raising awareness and helping entertain and educate people and helping them connect and care. Because when you do that, so often people then ask themselves a question, which is, what can I do? And if we can get people to a point where they ask themselves that question.
And that's where I think, sorry to interrupt, where people feel individually, as a collective, I'm sure they understand it and grasp it, but individually they have really difficulty in understanding how they can do change.
Exactly, especially with a conceptual issue like climate change.
Yeah.
Or biodiversity. I mean, what does that conjure up in your head? I find it an awkward term because it doesn't make me love it.
Right.
And I feel like I should love it. It's life.
Yeah.
It's really important. So I think our job is to find ways of introducing extraordinary places, extraordinary creatures, and helping audiences connect and care about them. So they ask themselves that important question.
Yeah.
This matters